listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name is Ken Lawler. I am the host of the LOZ Podcast Network. And, you know, we talk to people all the time at Lake of the Ozarks about all different things that are going on at the lake. And we love local business owners because they are the lifeblood of what goes on here at the lake. We are very fortunate to have one of the best local business owners at the lake, Cira Monnig with Lakeside Care Clinic. Cira, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Ken?
Love it. Glad you're back on the podcast. Look, I started with you like 8 months ago. I think I've lost 65 pounds in that 8 months, thanks to you.
Yes.
It's been amazing transformation. And, you know, when I first came into this, I didn't really understand anything about GLPs, what was going on. I knew we took my blood and it was, you know, there was a lot of, it wasn't crazy bad, but it wasn't great. But then you got me on the GLP journey. I think we took my blood like another 3 or 4 months later and everything came down. It's amazing what you can do in such a short amount of time with these GLPs.
Yeah, it is amazing. And, you know, a lot of people look at GLP-1s and they say, oh man, this is, you know, that's just an easy way to lose weight. And that's just so far from the truth. It is helping your body correct the metabolic dysfunction. And honestly, if you look at the Americans across the board, due to all the additives in our foods, all the toxins in our environment, we are getting our metabolic system completely jacked up. It's just getting messed up. And it's very difficult to correct that with diet and exercise alone. Some people just need a little bit of extra help. And whenever you get that metabolic system back balanced appropriately, it's not just weight loss. It's reduction in inflammation. It's reduction in heart disease because your cholesterol panel's coming down, your blood pressure's coming down. I mean, I see people all the time that they're going off of their cholesterol medicine, their blood pressure medicine, you know, all kinds of things. Their thyroid's better managed. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, they're coming up with like, I mean, I know that it's been out there for a while, the GLPs, but a lot of the studies now are catching up where people are understanding the benefits are way far reaching other than just weight loss or diabetic help, you know?
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed about what you have me on is just the food noise. I mean, I don't have that crazy food noise of like, I need like the munchies or I need to go down a half of a cake, you know, and it's just been amazing because it really, once you have a little bit of help on that, you can make some really good choices. And that's, you know, I think what people don't understand is they say, oh, maybe, you know, you should do it the old fashioned way. Well, unfortunately, the old fashioned way, you can't stay on that because your body is still going to be craving those kind of things. On these GLPs with that food noise turned down, it's really not that hard.
It's not,
you know, and, yeah, I've just been, you know, thank you because I've been just amazingly just surprised with the 8-month transformation. And, you know, and now I'm at a point now where I'd like to maybe lose another 10 maybe, but then kind of plateau off. But I don't know that I want to get off the GLP. I think there's a lot of benefits to being on, even if it's a microdose.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is that's where you transition from doing the lowest effective dose for ongoing weight loss, slow, gradual, healthy weight loss, to then transitioning to, okay, now I just want to maintain, and you go to a microdose level. The microdosing is where we see a lot of ongoing benefits and just the reduction of inflammation and just how you feel overall.
What are you seeing that's out there that's coming? I know there's a couple new ones coming down the pipe that are, you know, there's a GLP, you know, there's tirzepatide, which I think is what I'm on. And then now there's the semaglutide was the original. And now there's a new one coming out.
Yeah, it's retatrutide. And so some people are kind of getting their hands on it a little early. But it actually, so the difference between the three is semaglutide works in one pathway, tirzepatide works in 2 pathways, and then retatrutide works in 3 different pathways. Okay. And so it's actually just more, a lot, you know, basically it's going to be more effective with fewer side effects. That's the real key right there.
Yeah.
And there is a portion of this that, you know, I haven't read all the studies just yet because they're still trying to get it FDA approved and by the pharmaceutical company and all the things. But there is a part of it that is improving cognition and reducing risk for Alzheimer's, dementia.
Yeah, that was something I heard that was really interesting, that there's a lot of people now that are getting on GLPs because maybe their parents had Alzheimer's or ran in their family. And there's some studies out that are saying this can either prolong or even do away with the effects of that, which anybody, if you can get ahead of it, why wouldn't you?
Correct. On that note, GLPs, we talk about peptides. The peptide world across the board is something that we should probably briefly touch on because I kind of started diving into peptides across the board last summer. Oh, man. And I have already started seeing just amazing things with peptides. They have one that's called BPC 157. It's amazing for gut healing, reduction of gut inflammation. They've got another one that's TB 500 that is amazing for joints, like arthritic joints. And then you start getting into some that, you've got thymosin alpha 1 that's great for just overall autoimmune conditions, reducing your body's inflammation altogether and enhancing the immune system. So, and the list goes on. I mean, there's so many peptides, but there are some really cool things going on in the peptide world right now.
And are peptides drugs, or are they just things our body naturally makes that you're helping boost? Because I think a lot of people might think, well, these are all drugs I'm taking. But a lot of what we're talking about with hormones and with peptides, GLPs, is giving your body things that it naturally may have made, or younger people might make a great amount of it. But as we get older, as we do, that we lose that ability and it's not like your body, you can't trick your body into making it again, right?
Right. And that's part of it is they are part of our body. So it's not drugs. These are things that they're basically taking the amino acid chains from our body, the DNA from it, and basically mimicking that and mimicking it. And you're
reintroducing it to your body.
Reintroducing it to your body.
But it's like, I think people think sometimes like, well, you get sick and maybe you take some drugs to help you not get sick, but then your body heals and it gets better. The things we're talking about, you're never going to outdo. You're not going to all of a sudden start making more hormone. I mean, you're not going to, those kind of things. And people, I think they wait and they think, well, maybe if I just got maybe I just need to work out or I need to do this.
Right.
That's never going to fix it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's correct. I mean, when your body's not producing it at a baseline level adequately enough, then you're not going to produce it. You may as well supplement it. Can you do things to stimulate your body's own production? You can do supplements. It's going to be incredibly just more of a slow, gradual process. And quite frankly, it can get very pricey. When you're talking about supplements, I mean, you may have to take 5 different $50 supplements just to enhance your body's production of testosterone versus just supplementing with testosterone.
Straight testosterone.
Yeah. And so there's so many different hormones that honestly, again, it goes back to the additives in our foods, the toxins in our environment that are affecting our body and our endocrine systems at a younger age than it did 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so people do need those hormone replacements and they feel better. Their quality of life is better. It is not, people associate hormones with libido. And that's where I try to correct people and say, it is so much more.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting put on antidepressant pills when maybe you just need some progesterone,
right?
As a female. And I see that all of the time.
And if you talk to you talk to any female in my age group in the mid 50s and you ask them 5 questions. Do you have brain fog? Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you have, these are questions.
Aches and pains.
Yeah, aches and pains. But you're going to get yeses on almost all those from that group.
Yes.
It's not because they're not working out or they're not trying to eat well or whatever. They could do that until all day long. They just don't have enough hormones and they don't have the right hormones. So, you can correct that pretty easily, right?
Very easily.
It's a blood test?
Yes. It's a blood test. It literally is looking at the blood test. We're going to look at your insulin sensitivity for GLPs. We're going to look at your hormone levels as a whole, more from a comprehensive level, to see which hormones you need or if there's something bigger going on. We don't want to miss that either. We're going to rule out any kind of thyroid issues. And speaking of thyroid, we're going to take a deeper dive on thyroid. We're not just looking at your TSH. We're going to look at your free T3, T4. And if we need to look at thyroid antibodies, we're going to do that too. So we're just taking a deeper dive on all of these things to get to the root cause of the problem and just improve your overall quality of life.
Yeah, I don't know about the T3 or 4, but I think we all just want to feel better. I mean, in the end of the day, that's where we want to be, right? I just want to feel good. Like I want to feel like I did back in my 20s and 30s. But I think a lot of times you can bring people back to feeling normal again. And I think a lot of people struggle and they're afraid to go in and get it checked. Like you said, it's a simple blood test. It's not like you're taking them through this 3-week whatever. And they can find out really quickly what they're deficient in, and you can get them on them pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that a lot of people have been scared about hormones, right? For the last several years, decades, we've heard, oh, it can cause cancer, it can cause cancer. Not for bioidentical hormones. That does not apply to bioidentical hormones. There is a certain type of synthetic hormone that can increase your risk, but that does not apply to bioidentical hormone replacement. And that's what we're going to talk about and we're going to replace with.
And so if somebody wants to come in, they just make an appointment, you get them in, you do a blood test, that usually comes back, what, within a week?
Yeah, within a week.
So within a week, they could know, all right, here's what I need, and here's the things I'm working on. And I know with just with the GLP side, I was amazed after 90 days when we did a blood test. And I mean, all my levels came down into normal. I was pre-diabetic before, I wasn't anymore. I mean, and that's in 90 days.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a short amount of time. I've spent a lot more time than that getting me into the position.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
So, it just was such a amazing revelation. And I tell everybody I can about you, because I just think, you've helped me and you've helped so many people just get on a plan to being healthy again, and doing it the right way. And obviously you've been doing this for so many years. You get it.
Yeah. It is. I've definitely seen lives changed, and that's what I love. That's what keeps me in this, honestly, because I know there's a better way than just throwing pills at people. I know there is, and I see it time and time again, and that's the part that I just enjoy the most.
Well, guys, it's real easy. You go to the LOZ app, you go to Health and Wellness, you hit the button, and you're talking to someone in Cira's office at Lakeside Care Clinic. It's super easy to get a hold of them, and generally you can get in the same day. I mean, if you call early, this is not like a emergency waiting room. I mean, you're going to get in, you're going to get seen, but you don't have to wait. You don't have to be feeling terrible. You can actually do something that's going to make yourself feel better in a short amount of time. And the thing I like about what you do is you have different bundles and different ways people can get involved. That's not going to break the bank. I mean, you're pretty aware of that, and you want to make sure that you're doing it so that people can get what they need without it, cost an arm and a leg.
I certainly try. Yes.
Yeah. All right, everybody, there you have it. That is another episode of the LOZ Podcast Network with the lovely Cira from Lakeside Care Clinic. And you guys, we will talk to you right after these words.